welcome to this live art request tutorial, and I'm going to do Halo fantasy landscapes today. So sit back, enjoy. This is going to be much more of a relaxing tutorial, and we're going to do landscapes in using the Procreate app, but I'm not going to use lots of layers. That would only sort of confuse you, so I'm just going to do it all in one big drawing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's start with a simple colored background, and I'm going to almost cut the picture in half, okay, but with a pink. Oh, hello Dean, Lord too, it's wonderful to hear from you. You threw me. Let me start again. I didn't expect anyone to write from London. Okay, that's wonderful to hear from you, and you're a regular, which we love. Okay, now I'm just going to talk you through this technique, and I'm just using the luminous. We love the luminous, and this is going to be the horizon. And remember, these are fantasy landscapes, so they're lots of light going on, a lot of color, and like I said, I'm not going to be drawing, shall we say, on too many layers, so that you can have a go doing it yourself. So I'm now going to put that weird planet on the horizon, and we're going to put a big blue splodge here because there's always explosions going on, and I'm going to add some white light. There we go. Okay, so now we have our planet in the distance. Okay, and I'm now going to change it to airbrush. It's a much softer brush, and let's get the clouds in right away. So I'm using this pencil, this stylus, and I can press quite hard or very light depending on how much darkness I want. Okay, and I'm keeping it. Hey Bob. Oh yes, I definitely can draw Master Chief for you. I'll add him to this picture right at the end. How about we do that? That sounds like fun. Okay, so I'm adding some clouds here. You can already see there's a bit of a horizon. It's very space-like. I'm going to use a much darker blue here. And the nice thing is that I'm sort of just dabbing the color on. It's nothing too, there's no sort of fine lines that I'm putting on here. I'm just wanting to keep that nice and dark around here. So where the reason why I'm using a light blue background is I'm actually going to keep some of that. You might see already that it's where the tops of the clouds are. Can you see that gentle effect? And that gives the illusion of light touching the top of the clouds. And now I'm just going to go a bit darker. And you can do this effect at home using crayons. It'll be a lot less slick, but you kind of get the idea of how it works just by watching someone like me demonstrate for you live. That's the trick, is that you can write in and make requests, or if you have any questions, just ask me. Right, so already we're getting a good idea of the where the clouds are going to be, and I want to also add a bit of that dark blue down here. And I'm not going right up to the edge of the clouds. I don't want I want a bit of that light blue staying. So the light blue background is actually doing a lot of the work for me. Right, so now I think we got our planet that seems awfully close, and I'm just going to be a bit naughty because I love my luminous. I'm going to add a few stars just so that we know that this is the sky. And of course they get brighter as they go darker, further away from all the light that's coming off the planet. Okay, so, and I always mention this, you want a picture to tell a story, and you can do that with light. So I know by doing, let's get a dark brown. I know that if I'm going to have a platform here. Let's go and put Master Chief on a platform here. It looks a bit blurry, but just bear with me. And I'm going to make that a bit more rugged. So we're going to have him standing very dramatically in the middle. But I want light to be coming from behind. So we're just going to have this rock. I'm going to put some rocks up here. There we go. Can you see there's some strange looking rocks? And then we've got this one jutting out a bit for some drama. And I'm keeping some of the blue because that'll unite the whole picture. Okay. And then we want some sort of space age mountains on the horizon. So we're going to fill those in. And I'm later I'm keeping some of the light. Can you see behind? But again, I don't want to lose too much of that blue and the pink, so we're just keeping those mountains. Okay, so keep some of that blue, and I think we need another jagged, strange shaped one here. All those colors we want to have in the background. You know, the pinks, because that'll reflect. So now I'm putting in our other jaggedy, strange looking mountains. I'm not pressing down too hard, but I did want my mountains to show up. I'm going to have another one here. So normally with an iPad and the app, most artists will do layers, and that allows them to make mistakes and change and things like that. But I suddenly realized that I could do that, but it would be a little bit too much jumping back and forth from layer to layer. So I'm not doing that today. And then you're able to watch just on one layer. It's much more entertaining, and that's what I'm trying to achieve here. Is if you're entertained, then if you're having fun, you're learning. Okay, still keeping some of that blue in there because we want any rocks to look. What are they called? Have bumps and lumps because they're not perfectly smooth. So I've got some more rocks coming here, and I'm leaving a little blue along the bottom because I'm going to add, I'll show you what I mean, a little bit of cloud. See how I'm fading that? So we'll add some more in a little while. Okay, let's go back to this color, and I'm now going to make it even lighter in areas. Again, we're just keeping it uneven so it looks like rocks, because we're going to put our keep wanting to say master chef but Master Chief. Okay, so we've got some more jaggedness going on. And can you see how the blue now is starting to work in my favor if I just leave it? It looks like I've got some more light in areas. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of that white on here as well. I'll add some brown and textures and things. We just want that knowledge that there's light coming from this direction, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm just thinking with I'm just going to change our landscape a little bit. I'm going to use more of a warm brown here. Aha! Now you're probably thinking, why is she adding this warm color? And don't forget, we need to leave some of that blue. And a lot, you can see here, can you see that now? I've added a touch of that warm brick red color. This is a space planet, or whatever, so we can add whatever colors we want. And I'm kind of just making it up as I go along, and that's absolutely fine. If you want to make your fantasy planet, that's what you do. You just come up with ideas, you can plan in advance, you can just start drawing. You know what I'm always saying, you must just start. That's the main thing. Oh dear, my neighbor's dog. Okay, so I've got a couple of planets, sorry, mountains in the horizon. I'm just going to smooth that out a bit. Oh dear, that's my son's. At 3 o'clock. I'm running late today and my son has French at 3. And I know that's going to go off again. So just bear with me. I haven't got a clue how to turn it off. Okay, so not when I'm drawing live. Okay, but this is live. This is what happens. Okay, so I'm going to make this darker again and maybe a bit more bluey. Thanks. Thanks, Dean. It's going to go off again. I'm just letting you all know. I've got time to turn it off. Right, well, if anything, it'll teach me to go faster. Okay, so I quite like this dark blue. And I'm keeping the mountains. Let's get that in there. Okay, so you see how some of that light blue is still on the tower rock that we're going to put the Master Chief. That is what I mean about leaving the blue, because now it has even a more magical look to it than if I had just colored it in right to the edge. I'm now drawing, thinking what else could go wrong. Okay, I'm putting some of that blue. Oh, I do like that. Okay, we're going to put some of that blue. See how I'm really just sort of feeling my way through this picture, and that's exactly what you should be doing, is learning as you draw. That's why it's so important. You must just start experimenting, because you go, oh gosh, you know, that I like that effect. All right, so we're pretty much there, and I'm just wondering if I need to put any more sort of details. Why don't I put some more details in the clouds? We've got time, and I would love to do a green landscape for you. Let's just put in some of that pink in the clouds here. Just wondering, yeah, let's do that. Keeping it very pale though. So that's catching the light from the land where it's pink. And then I don't do too much, but I do want a warm orangey color as well, because pink becomes a warm, oh, that's nice. I shouldn't compliment my own work, but I didn't know if that was going to work, and it actually looks really good, so I'm just going to leave that. And then we're going to use I'm actually going to use a lighter blue for the clouds coming through here, the haze. Okay, we do want that to look like it's, I don't want to come there, let's have it going behind, there we go. Right, I don't want it blurring too much, but I do want this to look like it's going on the other side of that rock. Right, let's get our lovely action hero. Just going to make this blue because it's catching the blue light. It's very difficult to know when to stop. Just so you know, it is really one of the things that artists never know when a painting's finished. In fact, I do a lot of oil paintings, and even after I frame them and put them on the wall, I'll still go back and make changes. Which I don't know if anyone else does that. Right, so we're now going to do our lovely action hero, and I'm just going to put him, we do want him quite tall, so there's a wonderful, you know that he's there. You don't want him to be too small, and of course there's this power, isn't there? If he's standing on that rock, I might make him just a little bit smaller. This is cheating, sorry guys. Guys and girls, I'm just going to put him in, and I'm going to do a block so that we can add some highlights. And I'm doing this just so that it's easy for you to understand, because you can spend hours drawing and doing fancy things, and it can get frustrating if you're just wanting to learn how to draw. So this is an easy way of doing lights. So what I'm actually doing is, it's called a silhouette, and I must bring that up a bit more because he's got that. I'm just going to, I'm not happy with the helmet. I think it's too big. That's a bit better. Okay. It's a silhouette, and you'll see in a minute. I'm just going to add a lighter color at the back on the Master Chief's left back side of his back, and that will look really good. And in my other tutorials you'll see the same technique where you actually do a base color and then you add, I'm actually going to make him even smaller. I've run out of space. We add a base color and then we add layers on top, which makes it look awesome. It's an awesome effect. I did a tutorial on Iron Man. So if you ever look it up on our TV channel, Quick to Draw, you'll see a tutorial on how I draw all the comic characters. Okay, so we've got him, and we also mustn't forget the shadow. So I'm just going to put that in there to add a bit more drama. And now this is the fun bit. After we've done this, we can just all go back to relaxing. Okay, can you see how that works? And I'll add a bit more detail in a minute, but this is just your story of light. It's all working now. Okay, and I can see already that it's going to need some white highlights because it's just not strong enough, and this image has got a lot going on, and we've got a lot of light going on, and this is too I can't turn that off because I've got the camera on. And if I turn the camera on, you won't see my hand. Anyway, just carry on laughing at me. That's perfect. We all learn when we're laughing. Okay, a few more details. Oh, dearie me. I think if you can bear that alarm, I will carry on regardless. Oh, I didn't like that. There we go. So these artists who work on these games are just, in my mind, gods in the art world, because they create these environments that you believe in, and then you have the music, and you get drawn in, and you start believing that this world exists. I mean, that's a phenomenal thing. I'm just tightening this up now. Okay. I think we need a bit of black. Let me get black in there. Even better, I think that's actually a bluey black. There we go. And we're done. I think I could spend forever on this and never move on to the beautiful green landscapes. And I think if you're a fan, you'll want to see the ring, the halo, the landscape with the halo. So we're just going to have to do that, I think. Right. So I hope you enjoyed that landscape. It's very simple. If you have a go, just go for it. Don't hold back. And as you can see, I think that only took 15 minutes. So I'm just going to put those together and let's do another one. So the next one I'm going to do is actually a green fantasy world, and thanks, Bob. And I could put our hero in again if you like, but let's focus on that awesome arch. What do we call it? An arch? We call it a ring. So I'm just going to put that in. So whatever I do now, I know I haven't forgotten this thing. Okay, so I'm just going to again take total advantage of the blue, and it's fading in there. And of course it's an artifact from the past, so it's a little bit run down, and so it's not perfect in that it's got, you know, broken bits, and so I'm going to now take some of that white off so it's slightly uneven. There we go. And then I'm going to add a bit of dark grey to that. There we go. So now we have our ring or halo. Again, I'm going to tighten that up by rubbing out some of the lines. And right at the end I'm going to add some steam. We've got waterfalls and all sorts of things, so let's do the sky. I'm going to make it very dark there. There we go. Can you see it fading into the sky? We could go even darker if you like. That. Now I'm going to put some clouds in because I'm actually doing a lot of the background first, and then I'm going to add trees and greenery. Again, we need to know where the light's coming from, so I think it's coming from the left side. Always keeping that blue in mind. Now I'm actually going to press harder on the, oops, let's get that in the right place. I can feel that alarm's about to go off any minute now. So clouds are wonderful to paint, but they actually are, some people find them very intimidating. But I'll just show you the trick that I'm doing is that I know the light's coming from the left side. So I'm just pressing down the white harder on the left side. But clouds are not flat. So you've got to remember that some areas you want it to look a little bit darker, and then you've got a bit more, there's another cloud here. I don't want it to look too similar to the last one. So that unevenness can really work in your favor. And even underneath where I'm pointing with my hand, you don't have to do anything. Or you might need to put some up here. But because there's so many shapes that are going on, you just add and take away or leave it. But what you don't want is something to look symmetrical. Then it doesn't look like a cloud anymore. Alright, so I think we're getting our awesome, just going to make this look more mechanical. Okay. Right, so let's put in some waterfalls and some landscape. I think this is a nice dark color. And you're probably thinking, what's she doing? But I'm actually going to, this is just a base color. Again, I'm using that blue to my advantage. I've got children and streamers now going on. I think Friday is, it's always going to be a difficult one. Okay. Just keep drawing, just keep drawing. And again, keep that blue, it comes in handy. I'm going to also add some more rocks in the foreground. Can't turn it off. Oh, I know, I have got a plan. Nope, I'm going to leave it. You'll just have to live with it. I was just thinking of turning off the volume, but then the camera will move and then we're really in trouble. Okay. Another side to the mountain, because we're now looking into a valley. And here we go. So keep using that blue, don't take it away. It looks a little bit, I'll just make that a bit more uneven. Okay, the blue's really coming in handy now. It's saving me time as well. And you'll see also when I add this really dark, almost black color, how effective the blue is. Okay, and I've got a bit of top of a rock here. Okay. Any more grey? Of course, this is going to be a waterfall, so I just want to make sure that's a nice sharp line as it with some rocks. There. We're going to have some trees in a minute, so I'm just marking that where I want it to go. Some trees, a few more waterfalls, some more light here. I love all these fantasy waterfalls. There's a scene where Alderon has his lair, his elves, where the elves live, and it's all wonderful with all these waterfalls in Lord of the Rings. But I'm sure it would be quite damp having all that waterfall activity right on your doorstep. I don't know if that's just me. Okay, that's probably a little bit too white. You want to keep it soft. So just adding pressure. Okay, so a bit more unevenness here, some more rocks, and I want to use that grey to my advantage. Nice uneven with a bit of blue. There we go. Right, and even if I'm missing bits, it's great because it just makes it look more like nature. Okay. And we want to put in that bright green I was talking about, and you'll be thinking, oh, what's she doing? But just trust me, that is very bright. It might be too bright, to be honest. But it does all work. In the end. That's another trick when you're working on something like this. Have faith, just keep plodding on. You know that you need light. If it's a sunny day, this grass is going to be quite bright. So you just got to trust your instincts. Just keep going. Because this isn't going to be the whole picture, this green. It's just sort of hints. Once I've got the trees in, it'll all make perfect sense. And they go in last, by the way, the trees. Okay, now I'm going to add a very dark green. And we want the trees to, I want that even darker. It's almost black. That's it. That was the one I was after. Oops. so we were a bit later today starting, and then it's the weekend. Yay! We will be doing this again tomorrow. I have somebody special coming in to talk about The Witcher. So we've had a lot of people very interested in The Witcher. So we are going to do another one. The last one was a huge hit. And there's just so many characters in The Witcher. We've just got to do it again. Because I only covered the one. Oops. Let me go back. How did that green mark get there? Sorry, I have to go back because this is not on there we go. There we go. This is live. So I'm going to keep the trees quite, let's see, can I get that? There we go. You can see more of the tree. I'm going to keep it quite basic for now, and at the end I'll add all the real branches, but we want to get the feel of the trees, and then I'll add more details near the end. Let's draw another tree over here, and this one can be probably slightly paler. So when a tree is slightly further away, it's not as dark, shall we say. You'll see in a minute. So that's kind of why I'm starting further away. And also the other tree will probably be covering it a little bit. So I don't want to spend too much time on this one. Okay. A little bit of detail. So I hope some of you are actually listening to some music while I'm drawing for you. Some Halo music, get into the mood. So that is quite a rough tree, but now I'm going to go really, really black, almost solid black on this one. So I don't know if you can see that. Okay. And now we're getting that wonderful sort of foreground. Let me go in a little bit so you can see on the smaller camera where my hand's drawing. So quite a lot is getting covered up. And we are using some of the blue, trying to keep some of those shapes natural. And there's another tree here. So you know you can buy wallpaper to cover your whole bedroom with these fantasy landscapes, which I just think's wonderful. I might, being an artist, oh, I don't know what to do about that. I thought I was safe because we normally do these drawing classes in the morning, but that alarm caught me out big time. Okay, so we're starting to get this sort of feeling of looking down the valley, and that's another trick that these wonderful artists who do the landscapes for Halo, they know all these tricks, and they do it incredibly well. So we're just getting a little bit of light. I'm keeping some of the blue. I'm keeping this actually quite harsh because now we're closer to the rocks. And there we go. We want to keep some of that. There we go. So that really works now. Can you see how it's coming together? And there's another cliff edge. And then we're eventually going to add the mist. So I'm just going to add a bit more detail in here as the light comes down. That blue staying there. The green is less offensive. I don't want to get too dark. Landscapes all coming together now. And now I'm going to put in a little bit darker blue in here, just to, that's probably a little bit too greeny blue. That's what I was after. Okay, so that's better. Super duper. And some more steam, clouds, that sort of thing around here. And we're pretty much done. So I could do more of a river effect, but I think we'll just focus on the waterfalls. There we go. And there's some more clouds. I do like my clouds. I normally have an opportunity to use my luminous pens, but they're I think I need to take a break from those. I'm just going to add this sort of darkish landscape, few more rocks and things down here to show that we've got some scenery going on still on the way to the ring. Oh yeah, that works. You never know until you try. Yeah, that works. Okay, so we're nearly done, and now I'm going to put I could spend some more time doing the green of the leaves. I think if I do that, I need to do it probably with a sketchy brush, just slightly more rough. Do you see what I'm doing here? We don't really want it too fluffy. We want it a bit harsher. There we go. And then I will put our wonderful Master Chief . This is going to look fantastic when it's put on evolution. There's a button on here, I'll show you in a minute, on how the whole process is done. You'll see it in fast motion, which is my favorite. I'm just going to make this darker. Go. It's a very big tree. And this one too. I'm just making them a bit more in focus. Nature is always a little bit uneven, so we've got to make sure. Can you see how the little dots of green are coming through now? Okay, so let's put our character in again, and this is going to be exactly the same. We'll put him here. I'm just going to, just in case I make a mistake, I'll just look how teeny weeny I've got him. But again, here he is, standing. Let's have him put him here. And you'll see him in a minute. He's got his gun in his hand and his weaponry. What else would he have? He would have his hand, that's right, it was out like that, and his legs are quite muscly. And we just do a hint of him standing in the scenery, and I'll tighten that up in a minute. And again, the light is coming from this side, so we'll have that shadow going across over there. Rock and roll. Let's get some light grey. Just going to make that a bit smaller. I've made life a bit easy for myself because I've got the light coming from the exact same place. Bit of a cheat there. And now I'm going to add a little bit of white, really tiny. Oops. That's not going to work, so I'm just going to use a pencil. Oh, I am using the pencil sketch. Okay. Let's go for that. I know what's wrong. It's just that little bit too bright. That's better. Okay. Don't want too much highlights. We're just giving a little hint. And then I'm going to add black. Just to give the details. Now we're looking at it detail-wise. There's a bit of black there, this side. Rock and roll. We're done. So I'll just let you see this in evolution. How does that look? So we've got our character, we've got our beautiful, beautiful landscape, and one last thing I think we need to add also that the waterfall. There we go. Lots of water coming down. And we have our perfect world. Well, not really, because it's all fighting and destroying things. But anyway, okay, so let me just show you that in evolution, if I'm brave enough. I think it goes all the way from the beginning, but I'll show you. That was what we did earlier, and then we're going to go in evolution, the final landscape, which was the fantasy green world. So if you want to have a go, please do, and any artwork that you've done, thanks dear Lord, to wonderful, thanks for saying gorgeous, and send it, your artwork please, to @quicktodraw.co.uk so we can show off all your wonderful fantasy landscapes or any artwork from our YouTube channel, and we'll see you soon. And of course Twitch. Don't forget to log on to Twitch, okay? And we'll see you next time, which will be Monday. Oh no, Saturday. Saturday, that's tomorrow, around 11 o'clock, and we're going to do The Witcher.